So, oil prices went negative earlier this week. You probably already knew that. Now what? Should I buy oil stocks now that energy stocks are at low levels? Will oil stocks recover? Is it a good time to buy oil stocks now? Well, I'm here to take action so I can make money. If you're interested in making money as well, then click that like button. We invest in the stock market to multiply our money, right? Well, with any stock or investment opportunity, you'll have your bullish investors on one side and bearish investors on the other side, always battling it out in a long debate, explaining why or why not a stock is the best stock to invest in and make money. As an investor myself, I'm more fact-driven and I deal with the current situation at hand rather than listening to everyone's unique perspective. Crude oil has crashed and oil stocks have dropped. Now it's time to make a decision if it's the right time to buy oil stocks in 2020 at these low levels. Is there value to be had investing in oil stocks at this time? I'm sure these questions are popping in your brain as well. So let's get to it. What's up, everybody? Doriso here for another episode. In this episode, I'll be going over my personal opinions on investing in oil stocks right now, as well as a quick portfolio update, which I do in every single episode. If you're new, I'm building a stock portfolio from zero to infinity. If you're doing the same, then maybe subscribe since we're on the same page. Let's get straight to it. In regards to buying the best oil stocks at this time, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you since I'm not a financial advisor and I will never give financial advice on this channel. All I could say is what I'm doing with my personal thoughts on stock portfolio management. Remember, you and only you are the decision maker when you buy or sell a stock. Use your own brain. Do your own extensive research so you could feel confident with your stock investment. Don't just go with an oil stock pick because you saw someone on the internet recommend a list of oil stocks to buy now. For me, I'm not a huge fan of the oil industry. Look at my stock portfolio. I personally like individual stocks that have solid brands that I believe have growth potential for years to come. In my last episode, I mentioned 5G is a growth opportunity in the next couple of years. And that's an industry I prefer to invest in. Do I want to sell any of my stocks so I could buy oil stocks? Nope, not at this time of this recording. Will that change? Time will tell. I look at the bigger picture. I personally believe the oil industry has been getting disrupted. Over the next 10 to 20 plus years, I think there will continue to be a major transition into alternative energy sources. I've seen many technology companies like Microsoft that have recently made announcements of their carbon negative goals during the next few decades. Is this the end of the oil industry right now? I don't think so. I do believe there will always be a need for crude oil, as well as demand for amazing gas-powered cars. Tesla is making a dent in the auto industry, and I think that companies that are constantly innovating are very important to have in a stock portfolio, especially for someone young in their upper 20s like me. Will all oil consumption end today? That's another no in my opinion. It's a known fact that many industries all around the world are heavily dependent on oil consumption outside of the car you drive every day. At this time, airlines and cruise lines are not operating at full capacity unless people are driving to work each day, since work has halted for many employees. I'm sure if you're like me and you like the stock market, you already reviewed the unemployment numbers. So what actions can I take now? With any stock portfolio, an investor has an option to have a percentage of a portfolio with exposure to the energy sector and many of the oil stocks currently on the stock market. If someone is bullish on a recovery from the crude oil crash, then it makes logical sense to start allocating a higher percentage of a portfolio towards the energy sector. For many investors that don't have cash ready to go on the sidelines, to buy these oil stocks, they will have to sell other stocks already in their portfolio. Will you be selling your other stocks so you can buy oil stocks at this time? Which oil stocks do you think have more upside in the energy sector. Will oil be expensive in the future? Did you know that there are expenses associated with oil storage? So many questions. If you think about it, every individual on this planet runs like a company. Companies on the stock market report quarterly earnings reports that consist of cash flow statements and balance sheets. Just like a company, every individual like you and me has money that comes in called revenues and money that goes out called expenses. At the end of the month, you either have money left over or you need to access a line of credit to move forward to the next month. This is called your monthly cash flow number. Hopefully your number is positive each and every month. As the year progresses, an individual will purchase items that hold value called assets, and for this episode, we'll use stocks as one example. And then there are items that lose value called liabilities. Examples would be credit card balances, car loans, home mortgages, student loans, just to name a few. A balance sheet subtracts all liabilities from the accumulated assets to give you a number. For an individual, this is called your net worth. If your cash flow number is positive each month and you have more assets than liabilities, you may be in a position to allocate money into an investment like oil stocks, airline stocks, cruise line stocks. Those all seem to be trending here on YouTube. You know why? Well, because people want to catch the bottom. They want to time the market perfectly so they see their money go up in value as quick as possible. For any investment in life, you need a goal and time horizon. My goals will be different from your personal investment goals. For me, and the stock portfolio on your screen that I'm building from zero to infinity, I want to continue to allocate more and more cash flow each month to increase the size of my stock portfolio. To do that, I have to buy more and more stocks so my total assets can get bigger and bigger each and every year. At this time, I rather continue to add shares as stock to my Apple, Fiverr, Starbucks, and Penn National Gaming stock positions. Do I need to invest in every single sector of the stock market to multiply my money each year? Nope. I need to invest in stocks and companies that I believe will go up in value over the next 5, 10, 20, 30 plus years. If the stock price goes down in any of my stocks, I look at that as a buying opportunity unless my bull thesis changes with any new announcements and earnings misses. This is why when investing in individual stocks, you will always have to stay on top of your investments, unlike an index fund that may have hundreds or even thousands of individual stocks. Index funds are not for me for that main reason. Too much homework on too many stocks. I don't like investing in companies I don't like and understand. I rather create my own index fund of sorts by building a stock portfolio, including all of the stocks I believe will go up in value over the long term. I'll sacrifice quick money trading these oil stocks, hoping for a bounce or recovery, and stick with long-term investments that I believe will continue to grow over time. Now, do I only invest in long-term investments? Nope. I do believe it is okay allocating a percentage of a stock portfolio towards short-term investments, around 3 to 6 months, if I believe there's a trend going on in real time. The Pokemon Go app and Nintendo comes to mind a couple summers ago. Did you see that game trending all over the place? Kids were in the streets trying to catch the best Pokemon by walking around with their smartphones. If you spot a trend, I believe that you have to pounce on it before the big money flows in. Once a stock hits a certain price, then sometimes it makes sense to take profits rather than continue to hold for the long term. So do I believe oil stocks are the best stocks to buy right now? Not for me and my goals. Maybe you have a different outlook on the major oil stocks because you think big oil stocks will recover. Maybe you're looking to buy and sell in minutes rather than months or years like me. Your time horizon may be shorter than mine. And for that reason, I wish you the best of luck with all of your future investments in the stock market. We're all on a mission to build our wealth, and we all have our own methods to do so. To wrap up, as I do in every episode, Here's a quick stock portfolio update. I mark my progress in each YouTube thumbnail. Currently, we're up to a little over $4,000. I still haven't sold any stocks at this point in time since starting the stock portfolio. My goal is to continue to keep putting money in this stock portfolio on a regular basis so my holdings can continue to grow for years. By the time you know it, you'll notice my thumbnail balance will be much higher in the future than it is today. That's the plan, at least. You'll notice Fiverr stock has recently started to move higher and is now my largest holding. I've discussed my bull case on Fiverr International in many of my episodes. Feel free to go check them out. The freelance stay-at-home industry is starting to trend, and I think this is only the beginning. Right now, I'll be tracking the technicals for all of my stocks. Between me and you, there are a list of stocks on my research board that I may eventually add in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Let's end it there. Play the music. As always, this episode is not intended as investment advice. Do your own research prior to making any investments. Read the disclaimer on your screen fully. Remember, all opinions in this episode are mine and mine alone. I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is for educational and informational purposes only. Maybe I didn't earn your subscription with this episode, but there's always next episode. It's free to subscribe, and follow me on Instagram if you like reviewing stock market updates and charts as the days go by. My favorite comment from last episode is on your screen. Maybe you'll have the best comment in the next episode. Look out for it. I appreciate your time for this episode. Thanks again for watching. Remember, I'm just getting started. Let's keep building from zero to infinity. Peace.